Okay, so we're gonna do, we've done 3 sets of these Kuretake Art Nouveau colors, and we're on the, we'll call them the schoolyard left behind, schoolyard pick 'em left behind. I just didn't, there isn't always a good color scheme when they do these presets like this, or these pre-combined sets. So we're gonna do some yellows, some browns, and some reds on this last little half wheel. Just to get the last of these done, and then we'll have a whole kind of Art Nouveau overview here. So this first one is 404 Saffron Yellow, and it is just not a color. I mean, you need yellows. Okay, all right, that's not bad. It's called Saffron, but it feels a bit more cad. It didn't look quite so cad in that pan, but it feels very cadmium yellow. Like a little hint of, I don't know, a little hint of something, but all right, we'll take that. It's swatching nicely, as all of these other ones have. They're very creamy and dreamy, and I'm here for it. All right, let's see. There we go. That's very nice middle yellow there. I'm liking that. And that's the thing about these dried down pans, is that they don't always give you a really good idea about what that color is going to be when you go grab it, because that color looked way more, I don't know, chartreusey than it does on paper. On paper, that looks very cad yellow to me. And, you know, I'm no color expert, but all right, this next one is 405. It is called Green Gold, and it is really murky, but all of these are a bit on the opaque side, which is fine, which is probably what makes them so creamy and dreamy, is some sort of white that's put into the pigments that make them opaque. And all right, let's see what we can get here with the green gold. I'm liking it. It's pretty good. It's a nice medium yellow, I suppose. And this is a nice wash as we get up here towards the top. Sometimes when you get these colors, these really dark colors, swatched out, their washes up here towards the top get really weird. But this one looks good. I like it, even though I'm not a big yellow fan. All right, next we have yellow brown, which is number 49 down here. Got it all primed and ready to go. Let's see what we can do with yellow brown. This looks like a little bit of a, like an umber situation, but not exactly any of the umbers we normally deal with. Oh, this almost goes with these beige colors I did. The beach. It's almost a better companion for those, but that's all right. Let's see. So I think I mentioned in one of my other swatches that I have got a fair amount of these Kuretakes, because I had bought a set a long time ago, before they even were naming them. They were just numbering them, and I had gone online with Google and, you know, found a reference sheet where I was writing in the Sharpie on the bottom of them, you know, what they were, because again, it's hard to tell just from the swatch. And I was swatching inside the box. So the box, if you open up the lid on all of these Kuretakes, has a little swatch thing here, but this is not watercolor paper, and it's just no thanks, pass. Anyway, but they only have the Japanese characters and then the numbers, and so I had gone anyway. My point is, I'm gonna probably pull the rest of this out and and swatch some of those and start doing some color families so that when I want a blue or a green or whatever, I kind of know where they all fall in the hierarchy of each other. But these Art Nouveaux are kind of the thing right now, and with good reason. These are beautiful paints. All right, we're on 402 Mars Yellow, which is more like a sienna, but that's okay. We always need a good sienna in the palette. It's a good mixing color. It's very bright. It's very orangey. Very orangey. We like it. And this is not good watercolor paper, as I've mentioned before. This is Strathmore 400 series, which is okay watercolor paper, but it's cellulose. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not, there's no cotton content. It's just wood pulp and cellulose. But it's better than the dollar store paper, but only marginally. But for a little sketchbook to play around with, I like it. I like a good cheap watercolor paper for my sketchbook. Sorry, middle of the road watercolor paper. All right, next is 403 Venetian Red, which is this guy down here. He is very Indian red looking. Venetian red, Indian red, a lot of companies use that, use terms like that to indicate a dark muddy or muted red. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. It looks like the pigments might have a little bit of a separation going here. I got a couple little pigment boogers in that one. I'm kind of like reconstituting some paint molecules or whatever, fragments, pigment fragments. But it's all right. A little granulating, it feels like. That's the thing about these paints, is I don't think any of these really granulate. I think they all do a have a very smooth finish to them. All right, last and not least is the Vermilion, which is, you know, going to be an orangey red, which is very Art Nouveau, I think. And yep, just as expected, a very orangey red. Very warm red. One of the few words in this palette that's kind of consistent across most of the paint manufacturers. Most everybody's got a Vermilion. Why they didn't call this, I don't know, sunset red, or it's funny because every manufacturer has their own quirks on names, right? But this looks pretty typical. Again, very creamy, dreamy, and smooth. Yeah, I like it. I mean, if you're going to have a Vermilion, here you go. This is very as expected in the world of Vermilion. Next, it'll be fun, besides swatching, it'll be fun to grab some of these colors and, you know, do some abstract watercolor painting. Just play. Just turn the page and play a little bit. Okay. So, with that, we've swatched out all 24. I can do math. All 24 of the Art Nouveau Kuretake Gansai Tambi palette. I did notice on here that this Japanese paint, it says this professional artists and crafts for professional artists and crafters, and can be used as a gouache and watered down for watercolor. So I guess technically that's why it's a bit more opaque, is because it's considered more of a gouache. And I'm all here for it. There's a whole back page I probably ought to read. And I will eventually. But anyway, thanks for joining me, and I am going to see you again soon. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.